Hi all, today we're going to be talking about the Vandal, the nanite system scout rifle available to all factions, and arguably the best scout rifle in the game. The Vandal is very nice. In short, it puts out good damage, you get 0.75 ADS with it, meaning that you are fairly hard to hit, you have good reload speed, you have a good magazine size, it's just a really nice scout rifle all around. It's in a really good spot right now, and if you need to Araxian the scout rifle, whether you're doing it for, say, your infiltrator directive, or if you're going to be working for the scout rifle directive, it is absolutely a must-have, and it is even viable in other classes. It's that good. So, it is a 255-334 scout. You've seen this damage model before, and it's the exact same here. You get 15 meters of 334 range, which is really nice in close quarters for panic situations, dropping off to 280. So you're always going to be a 4-shot body, no matter what, which is amazing, and a 2-shot head, which is also really nice. This honestly cannot be overstated, because if you have the mechanical aim to guarantee headshots, it is an extremely strong rifle. Your muzzle velocity is okay at 520 meters a second, your reload speeds are decent at 3.5 long, 2.6 short, your magazine size is relatively good for the scout rifle class at 15 rounds, your hip accuracy stats are so-so, and your aim accuracy stats are fairly good. And, as I mentioned, you get 0.75 ADS, which is huge on this rifle. It's really what helps it become super strong, and it's just a great rifle overall, even without. So, in the way of attachments, pick your poison on the site. Honestly, when I Araxian this, I didn't know what I ran. Rather, I couldn't figure out what I wanted to run. Honestly, all the sites here are viable in some way or another. I wouldn't go for a 6, but other than that, I think everything here is viable. If you're going to use it more of a close-range weapon, a 1 and a 2 are perfect. If you're going to try and make it work in long ranges, the 3.4 and the 4 are perfect as well. Pick your poison wherever you want your Vandal to operate. As a safe pick, I'd probably take a 2, but depending on how confident you are or what playstyle you're trying to focus on, a 1 and a 4 are totally viable. The barrel. Now, the barrel is, honestly, I would just leave it bare. You can take the flash suppressor if you just want to have the slot filled, but I would say the other picks here just aren't worth it, and there's a couple reasons why. So the compensator is useless. If you're playing the Vandal like a human, and not, i.e. spamming the shit out of it, which you shouldn't do because then your cone of fire goes to hell, then the compensator just doesn't benefit you. This gun has enough time to comfortably reset itself between shots, so the compensator really doesn't do anything for you here. Unless you're going full monkey mode on it, which just ruins your cone of fire, and you shouldn't do that anyway. So, the compensator, not worth it. It just doesn't do anything for you here. The suppressor is okay, but I personally wouldn't take it, and here's why. So, it is technically a free suppressor damage-wise, because you're only dropping 1 tier. However, 15% muzzle velocity on what is intended to be a mid-range weapon, sometimes a long-range weapon, hurts. And given how reliant this thing is on headshots, having nice velocity is greatly appreciated, especially in the mid-ranges. You can take the suppressor if you really value stealth that much, otherwise, I'd leave it blank. The rail slot is actually largely the same story as the barrel. The forward grip is pointless because, as I said, the gun will reset itself, so unless you're wearing monkey mode, you just straight up won't notice it whatsoever, which you shouldn't be doing. So the lazy sight is the free filler here. Also, it makes your hipfire workable enough to be panicked, if necessary. It's still not great to panic it, and you should just be aiming down sights anyway, but it's a free slot filler, it's just a free buff. The dark light is, of course, a throw. The ammunition slot doesn't really matter. Honestly, if you want the extra velocity, take the high velocity. If you want the 2 meters more max damage range without it, just leave it off. It doesn't really matter in the realm of the damage changes, honestly, for this gun, especially if mechanical skill to headshot, because it just doesn't change. Otherwise, if you want the bonus velocity, it's fine. You go from 520 to like 572 or something. It's not huge, but it's nice. So, as per usual, into live gameplay. My god, Connery is dying. It is currently 5:10 PM on a Thursday. And we will see how this goes. I'm not sure why it's showing comment me to the crown, but you know what? We make do. So, the Vandal is a good gun. It's a very good gun. I would genuinely call it the strongest scout rifle right now. It works well on every class that can take it. It's just a really nice tool that has never really going to let you down. It's never going to let you down. It's never going to give you up. And I've messed up that lyric. Still, it's a great rifle. It's super comfortable to use. I actually don't have a lot to say on it like that, because as long as you have hands, the Vandal is a great rifle. If you don't play it stupid like I usually do, it'll serve you just fine. Takes a bit of getting used to, especially with leading it and understanding. It's not super, like, I keep saying it's reliant on headshots, but that's not 100% true. You really want headshots with it, don't get me wrong, because that really plays into its largest strengths. But you can, if you don't have to aim, you can still body shot with it and still do fine. You're looking at a 3 to 4 shot kill anyway, which is not that bad. So it's just a good weapon. It's good for new players because it's relatively forgiving in the way of scouts. It's really good for vets because vets will be able to maximize this weapon's effectiveness, thanks to having the mechanical skill to headshot. And if you're somewhere in between, you'll probably still enjoy it. It is absolutely a must Araxium in the realm of scout rifles. If you're only going to Araxium one scout rifle, say for your infiltrator directive, this is the one to do. It's far and away the best scout rifle and the most comfortable one to use out of the whole lot. I wouldn't say it's as fun as some of the other ones. For example, the Doku scout rifles and the auto scouts, namely the Tomo specifically, can be more fun than the Vandal. But the Vandal performs extremely well. That was incredible. God, I almost want to restart the video for that alone. Jesus. But that's what we do with the live gameplay. A smile. We get shit like that in the videos, because that's how you know I'm not that great at the game. The Vandal is... Like I said, I don't have a whole lot to say on it, actually. It's... Honestly, if you spend an hour with it, you'll probably have the Vandal down. It's actually a really nice weapon in that regard, because it's really easy to just pick up and use if you're any familiar with scout rifles. It's a good gun, and... Unfortunately, because of how good it is, I don't have a lot to say about it. Always a problem when I review guns that are actually good and not shit tier, that I just run out of things to say, because... There's only so much I can say Vandal good before it becomes redundant, and it was redundant about 3 minutes ago, to be totally honest.
Leave the restricted area
so,
immediately.
The best thing I can recommend with the Vandal is just use it yourself. I mean, it's 1,000 certs, but certs are not that hard to come by today in this game, so... If you've got the certs and you've got the time, definitely pick it up or give it a whirl. You might like it. You probably will like it, because it's quite a good rifle. This is a terrible fight that is absolutely not fun in the slightest. But because Connery is dead as a server, I can't get anything better. And I guess I chose to make this review at a bad time. Yes, you can hipfire it. I should mention this, because you're going to see me do it in this fight because of how close range it is. Especially with the laser, as long as you're not taking the comp, which as I said you shouldn't be, you can hipfire it in close ranges. It's not necessary, but you can.
Leave the restricted area.
It's more of a convenience thing to just be able to fire it, and that orbital's gonna ruin my day. See if I can get away from it enough time. I'll probably still get flunked, yeah. Man, I wish they'd update the orbital to actually kind of display the radius it actually hits you, and oh well, whatever. That's just me complaining about the game. That's just me complaining about the game. As for implants, I should probably talk about this with guns now. Implants the Vandal pair well with include Assimilate, obviously because of how extremely rewarding it is for headshots. And then your other slot filler of choice, whether that's Athlete, Sidewinder, not Assimilate, Cat-like. Basically anything that you like is a second slot, anything that you'd already run on your build. It's a very, very safe scout rifle. It works pretty much whatever class you throw it on. Any loadout you throw it at, any class you throw it at, it just kind of works. It's nice in that regard. You have to worry about, like, you don't have to put a lot of thought into the build you're running. You know what, that's probably a good place to call it, because this fight is awful. So, the Vandal, in recap. It's a great scout. It's an absolutely great scout. If you're looking for a scout rifle for any reason, whether it's for, say, a directive, or just to have one, the Vandal is far and away the best choice for the majority of players. It's extremely easy to use, it has good damage output, it's forgiving, it's cheap because it doesn't really require attachments to be viable. It's a great rifle. And honestly, for what it is, unless you're going for a scout rifle Araxium, like unless you're, say, going for the scout rifle directive, there's really no reason to take another scout rifle over this thing. It's that good. Thank you all, and I will see you all later. Bye.